Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Jim Master Show Live Entertainment Lifestyle Variety Talk Show series. A very special guest coming to us from a beautiful part of California, heading towards the desert just north of San Diego, beautiful Temecula, California. Will Roberts, wonderful actor, cowboy, dancer, author, magician, film and TV, weapons expert, holder of 2 Guinness World Records. And that is just the short list, folks. He's been syndicated. And we are so happy to have him here. And it's so awesome to have him here. And it's so awesome to have all of you here as well, gang. Will, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks. I actually thought you were going to be on a single and you were going to be talking. I'm over here playing around.
That's great.
All that stuff in.
Yeah, you're doing your thing. Absolutely. Yeah, we figured we'd bring you right in and get the audience to see you because they're all excited. And we welcome everybody. We have a viewership that watches literally from around the world. We call them the Lovities, the Jim Master Show Lovities, which is kind of cool, isn't it?
It is. I think, do you have a t-shirt and it should have like hands?
I know we're working on all that. That's what we got to have is that swag, right? You got to have that swag for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. It needs to have graphics of hands on it and say, I'm a Lovity.
I'm a Lovity. Exactly. Yeah. We'll take that logo there and then we'll somehow have that I'm a Lovity. Gang, we welcome you to the show. If you want to comment during the show in our JMS Lovity live chat room, feel free to do it. I see a lot of people commenting already. Just subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click that red button you see there. And there's no cost to subscribe. Click the notification bell so you never miss any of our incredible episodes of the Jim Master Show Live. So Will is coming to us from beautiful Temecula. And I was mentioning that I was on a TV shoot there and I fell in love with that area. That really is a special place, isn't it?
It is, and you know what? I'll be quite honest with you because my wife's not in the studio. Is that when I was in Las Vegas before this because I was with Cirque du Soleil, and my wife, when the show ended, which was called Viva Elvis, she said, "All right, we're going to go back to Southern California for you and all the acting, and I'm a keynote speaker." And I said, "Okay, we're going to go to a place called Temecula because I have an 8 and an 11-year-old."
Yes.
And we were very set on the educational system, and it's really good in this area. And I went, "Oh, okay." I'm like, because before that, I lived in Phoenix and 10 minutes from the airport. And then when I was in Vegas, I lived, obviously 10 minutes from the strip and my show. And my wife's been really good about that. So we got here, and I'm like, "Oh my God, it's 2.5 hours to LA." And basically it's Southern California, but the problem is that it's 2.5 hours one way. And on a normal day in LA, it's 3.5 on the way back.
Yes. I remember we had to go we were on a TV shoot in Calabasas then had to go from Calabasas to Temecula. That took a little bit it was beautiful. It was scenic, but it took a little bit of, some travel time.
It's kind of, I guess people say, "What do you do? Do you listen to like music?" And I go, I've kind of learned to listen to nothing. And I just sort of drive. I guess it's sort of my labyrinth, Southern California labyrinth. I just kind of go in the same circle. I come back, I go to LA. Of course, COVID changed all that. And now because I'm a live streamer and I'm doing what I'm doing in my studio, the cool thing is that a lot of the industry now has gone to self-tapes. Thank God, because I don't have to go in and do what I call dance monkey dance. I will. Hi, audition.
You're right. Done. Exactly. Right.
For less than a minute sometimes, and then drive back to, for 3.5 hours. But it's my job, not my hobby. So we're okay.
I want to let the audience know, too, that Will is an award-winning actor, film and television weapons expert, cowboy author, reporter as well, dancer. Just comparing notes about our various broadcast backgrounds in television and radio and all. He's also a dancer. I mentioned a holder of 2 Guinness World Records. We're going to mention what those are in just a second. Also a member of SAG-AFTRA for almost 4 decades and starring in the 2nd season of the Emmy award-winning drama series Studio City, which of course is streaming on Amazon Prime. And you guys know that we've had both Justin Torkeldsen was with us and Sean Kanan's been with us about 3 times, creator of Studio City. Also in A Soldier's Revenge, Ibot, The West and the Ruthless, North of Neon, The Killer, Signal and Turner, and Hooch. And television credits include principal roles on all kinds of incredible shows. Netflix hit Lucifer, True Terror, Robert Englund, Wave Rider, Man and Wife, Last Man Standing, infamous for the appearance on The Ellen Show as the dancing dad. And you guys may recognize Will from his many national commercials, companies like Total Wines, Applebee's, Geico, Verizon, Audi, Nike, Nissan, Levi's, Chrysler, and much, much more. I hope you get samples of all those, especially the Audi, the
Well, I will tell you, first of all, is it possible I could put my Instagram, Will Roberts Official, so I can put, can I type that in the chat or something like that? Is that possible?
Well, we have this. I know we have this so far, but we could put that in. Yeah. That's the website.
Yeah. Yeah. Or if you can't do
so your Will Roberts Official and Instagram. Yeah, we'll put that in. Yeah.
Because social media is king nowadays. Funny thing is, talking about the commercials, one thing that I kind of I guess I hold as a moniker is that I played Jack in the Box one time. There's a commercial, a Super Bowl commercial called Bacon Insider, and welcome to and it's this like thing. Well, they needed a trick roper, and they wanted a trick roper to spin the rope around a real pig. Now, let me tell you, that is a feat, not pig's feet, because it's really tough because it wouldn't stop moving. And just so you know, the jack head is about 10 pounds, and it has a lipstick cam in it. So the distance from anything is funky. So I had to have a mirror in front of me, and I'm sitting here doing my trick roping, and it's not an easy feat, so to speak.
You know who we had on the show? Speaking of Jack in the Box, we had Rodney Allen Rippey, who was the kid in the Jack in the Box commercials years ago, in like the 70s.
Years ago is an understatement.
Yeah, and he was he appeared as the landlord when he was a little kid in the episode of The Odd Couple.
Yeah.
You were in that Super Bowl ad for Jack in the Box, and you also appeared for 3 years at the Aria Hotel in Las Vegas Strip and Cirque du Soleil, Viva Elvis. You're mentioning that. The Life and Times of Will Rogers, Showboat, Bye Bye Birdie, Chorus Line, Beyond Therapy, Chicago, Oklahoma, as well as Godspell, Cabaret, Annie Get Your Gun, West Side Story, Showboat, Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. And that is, again, all on a Thursday. That's all on a Thursday he did that.
Yeah.
You even received Best Dramatic Actor Award at the X World Short Film Festival at the Action on Film Festival in Vegas, doing the Best Actor Award short at the Golden Gate Film Festival too, for the film Signal in 2018.
Let's see, Los Angeles, it's the Golden State Film Festival, which I was very happy about that.
Yeah.
And that consequently, just so you know, and I have a message for most actors and performers, it was shot on an iPhone 5S. I was doing a film called O Matador, or The Killer, which you can still see on Netflix right now, where I played the bad guy they called the Gringo. Because this is what I do in the film, is I'm one of the top, world record holders with the 6-shooters, and this is my real Ruger. And so I played the Gringo that basically was the bounty hunter that killed the bounty hunters. But we shot one day, myself and Diogo Morgado, a film called Signal, 11 minutes long. We got about 20 awards around the world, and I got 2 Best Actor awards. But I say this to people because I've been doing this for 40 years, and you know what? This is the best time to be a performer or a content provider or whatever, because this is my 13 plus Pro Max, 1 terabyte, and I can shoot 4K plus, all that in a bag of chips, and you can get in the game. So I love that part.
It really has made it that accessible, hasn't it?
Yeah,
versus in those early years coming up the ranks. Exactly.
Yeah.
Back then you had to, please the general manager or whoever it was.
There you go. To grab a Beta SP.
Right, exactly. How did you get started in all this? Tell us about early Will as a kid. I mean, were you always enthusiastic, running around the house, creating things, doing things, entertaining the family. What was it like for you as a kid? What are some of the things that inspired you to go into the arts and entertainment and performance? Will?
So you asked how I got started. Well, I was in prison. I mean, no, anyway.
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
Yeah. I was going to
yeah.
have you mention it
I
instead
do.
of me. Are
Look
they at the
familiar?
door to take you back?
There you go. You know,
Now we know why he's hiding out in Temecula.
That's right. And my fingers are shaved down. You know, the bottom line is that I started. I'm one of those people, and I bet you are too. But I can't remember when I didn't want to be a performer or an actor. I just can't. I was one of those people that was born and went, I'm going to be an actor or a performer. And, you know, consequently, when I got into my high school years, it became obvious that was pretty much the only thing I could do because I wasn't really good at my education. I'm a very self-taught person, and everything I do, from editing, shooting, marketing, business, and everything I've ever done and I'm very successful at, is really been self-taught. But I really wanted very early in my life to do this. And I was inspired by, I mean, I'd say that you're probably like 10, 15 years younger than me, but you know, I was Three Stooges. I was the cartoons. I was imitating voices. I was doing everything I could because back then that was the heyday of all that stuff that was out there. And, you know, consequently, I got into magic. I'm a professional magician. I'm a Magic Castle member, a member, and also a Magic Circle in the UK, which is a very difficult society, 108 years old. You know, I got into that because, you know, I was a skater. There it is. Yeah. I was.
Was that first? Was that the first thing
Yes.
that you did was it as a youngster, as a kid, you got into magic? I used to have magic sets. I love magic.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I technically, you know, I guess you could say, yeah, I had my TV magic cards and all that fun stuff. But the fact is that when I was probably, I don't know, about 14, 15, 16, I was not a good kid. I was wearing a Yamaha jacket. It was torn up. I was a half pipe skater in Santa Cruz, Monterey, Santa Cruz, which is where it kind of started, emptying out pools, smoking a lot of weed. You know, I was not a good kid. And, you know, I was back in the days when Dogtown skates and I was, you know, shredding it and when all that stuff was happening, right? But I went and walked into a magic shop in Cannery Row. And lo and behold, I got involved in looking at magic, and then I just never left. I wound up getting a job there on and off for 10 years. And then I just decided that I was going to be the next Houdini. And my record was 16 cuffs in a pair of shorts and naked, basically. The only reason I didn't really succeed as being that is I'm claustrophobic. So I couldn't really.
That might get in the way a little bit. Yeah,
that's kind of a problem. So, but then I went on to doing platform close-up magic. I did the fair circuit because I'm also a professional clown. I'm a balloon artist. I'm like the fastest in the West in making balloons. And consequently, that's how I wound up making my living because I'm not going to lie to you, I grew up white trash. And I was from South Side of Chicago. My family moved 15 times before I was 10. And people would say, "Oh, was your dad military?" I'd say, "No, bad checks." Funny, but true.
But I bet you know where all the good deep dish pizza places were.
I do. Chicago, yeah. And I love Wrigley Field. But, you know, the bottom line is that I got into magic. But one day a magician said to me, he goes, "You're really good. And you're very entertaining, but I'm going to tell you the secret to being the best magician you could be." And I said, "What's that?" He goes, "Become an actor." And I went, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
So then I wound up doing back-to-back theater. And then consequently, at the time when I was in my teens, could not move, literally. And I devoted my time, which I've done with all of my skills, and really hardcore push on them. And I learned, you know, I was Cicchetti ballet, tap, pop, lock, you know, all the stuff I did on the Ellen show. I literally did this stuff. And I'm one of those people that I won't stop doing it unless I do 3 in a row of something. And sometimes it's 2 in the morning.
Right.
But consequently, I wound up really wanting to go to Broadway. And I was kind of a semi-professional dancer and a musical theater guy. That's why a lot of the musicals you mentioned are in there, because I really wanted to do that. But I realized that you can't really make a lot of money off that unless you're in New York, and even if you are, it's kind of tough. So anyway, yes, a long answer, shorter, hopefully, is that I started and knew I was always going to be a performer.
You did. Yeah. But how did you know what to focus on? Because you were dabbling in so many different areas of the arts. How did you know what to really, was acting always the main focus and everything else came around it?
Yes. See, the thing is that I love all the different things that I do. But to be quite honest with you, when I was younger, I was poor as all get out. And I have had so many $500 cars, I'm not lying, that I can pit crew an alternator, a radiator, a water pump, and just about anything on a car from 82 back. And the point is that I had a lot of cars, like Fred Flintstone cars, where I'd have to kickstart all kinds of stuff. But I learned.
And you strip them too?
What's that?
Could you strip the cars too and
Yeah.
take the catalytic converters? That's the
Well,
key.
just
That's
so
the
you
big
know,
thing now.
well, as a magician,
Put the car in the garage quick.
yeah. You mean, do I have a chop shop here? Well, the fact is that
What's
I'm
behind that green wall?
yeah, I'm actually a very good lockpick too, because I learned how to, as a magician, one of my intriguing things, Houdini, was I learned how to pick a lot of locks. And one day, a friend of mine that went to Stanford said to me, Denise said, "Hey, we're going to go steal in Berkeley. We're going to go steal the axe, which is the big thing." And so they literally drove me there, and I went there to try to pick the lock and steal the axe. Unfortunately, they moved it, but we did open up every floor's cabinets and put in go Stanford, and that was kind of fun. But I'm very good at picking locks. So if you ever get locked out of your car, or you have a really good idea for a business, let me know.
That is funny. So what would you consider for you like an early big break? What was the door opening opportunity that came your way, door opening opportunity that really, if you look back at it, you say, if that key thing or those things didn't happen, maybe the rest of this wouldn't have followed. Was there one or two moments that are pivotal for you?
Well, because I am a jack of all trades and a master of a few of them now, one point on the skills is that I learned all this, one, because I needed to make money and I wasn't a good waiter. So I went around learning how to do balloons, and I did them for tips and made really good money, and magic and strolling and so on. But it's an interesting thing you ask, because as an actor, I would say this film or this TV show, but as a talented performer, I've seen these big breaks come in my career, and I know that it goes like this. The first thing I would have to say is that I was very happy to become the Fox Kids Club host on air for 7 years, which that's when Fox cared about families. Anyway, yeah. So anyway, but the point is that I spent 7 years as being the host that walked around. I had to have sunglasses and a hat, and because I was in San Jose market, pretty big market.
Did you use your name, or did you take another name?
I used my real name,
yeah.
which is not this name. So
Oh, really?
yeah,
It isn't.
This is something that
is a derivative.
Kind of. So I will tell you this, is that when I was at Fox, that was I was like, oh my God, I'm there. Finally, I'm not just doing, and I worked there for 7 years, and I was on air. I was what we call a one-man band. I would shoot it, edit it, host it, the whole
Been there,
9 yards.
done that. Yes.
Yeah, I had segments I was on because of the station group. We had 3 stations. We had a CBS, we had Fox and CBS. So I was a feature reporter, but mainly I was the Kids Club host. But then I would go out and do something to do with that other name, and I would go out and do all the events in Monterey and Cannery Row. And
they didn't have you do the weather too?
Yeah, well, I showed up on the morning show a lot on the weekends because I had a segment I produced during the week about what was happening during the week. It was a ball.
Yes. Who owned the stations at that time? What was their group?
Ackley. I worked.
Okay.
Yeah, Ackley Group out of Seattle, and consequently, my father-in-law was the CEO and
of
the COO,
broadcasting company.
and my wife worked there briefly. Came from Santa Clara, and graduated and came to the station, and I stalked her. But you know what? It's not technically stalking.
See, and they always told us in college that you had to have the uncle to be able to get in. You had the dad.
But I say stalked, but it's not really stalking if you're not arrested, right? Yeah.
Right.
So, consequently, that would be the first big break that I had. I did the fair circuit. I did some things that were really kind of good for my career, but
Sure.
if I say fair circuit, that's not it. But the point is that things that I worked and made good money. But when I hit the Fox Kids Club host, I was like, okay. And then I started trying to do other stations. What's that?
Did they give you, when you were the Fox Kids host, did you get free reign? Were you involved in producing and segments and all?
Well, what happened was,
or were they telling you what you had to do when you showed up?
What happened was the Kids Club had been there for 15 years. And they had Wendy, and she was great. And she was like, "Hi, I'm Wendy." Yeah. And I'm like, I tried, and I was on her show a lot because she was a good friend of mine as Buzzy the Clown, because I was a professional clown. And I kept trying to get in and getting them to let me be a co-host. And they went, "Yeah." Well, Wendy gave up the job and said, "Here, you should probably interview Will." Well, 500 people interviewed, and I came in and I got the job. But here's the thing. When I came in, the demographic was 0 to 6. So I was like going to science camps and doing vignettes.
So you crawled in?
What's that?
You crawled in on your hands and knees.
There you go. I'm like, oh my God, I got it. But the cool thing is that I did my first vignette, and I was kind of at the time like Jim Carrey. Like I'd be climbing and falling off and doing stuff. And they went, after about 6 months, they went, "We just got the ratings. Guess what?" I go, "What?" They go, you brought it from 0 to 6. Now it's 0 to 13.
Wow.
Because I did the most important thing that I believe in family entertainment, which is I didn't do this. "Hey there, kids, you're really great." I went like this. And I went, "We're going to do crazy shit. And we're going to have fun." And I went to science camp, and I was the dude. So when I did it, I got the families involved. And I got to tell you how many times I went to I'd go around town, and the kids would be there. We'd have like a big kid club affair, and I would be walking around, and then I'd say, "Hi there, Jimmy and Tom." And I'd look up, and the mom's all, "Hi." I'm like, oh boy. So it was a really weird deal, but everybody in the family, plus I was also the feature reporter, but they gave me total reign. They didn't even ask to see my scripts, because a lot of them I improv'd. And I just went, and I would get a camera person sometimes, Christopher Roy, great guy. And we would just go out and do just wacky stuff and just fun stuff that people wanted. Consequently, the way that we did it back then, and I created it, was exactly what is happening now with Instagram and all the TikToks. I was doing this, just quick clip, funky stuff, and doing things. And, consequently, that was what I was doing back in 1997 to 2002, or whatever it was, that span of 7 years. So, and then I did the feature reporter stuff, and I'd go out to the Elegance over at Pebble Beach and do the cars and do a silent film version. We won a lot of awards because I wasn't just going, "Hi there, I'm out here talking to this guy and that guy.
Yeah,
right. Turn it in."
Right.
Which is, if I did that, it was exactly what I just did now, which is like animated and stupid.
Yeah, and kids don't relate to that, right? Exactly. Kids
wouldn't. Families. So I became the family show instead of the kids club. I was the family club. So it was kind of fun.
Isn't that great? That's fantastic. I mean, really.
Then I decided that I wound up doing a show called Will Rogers Follies at a very large repertory company called Western Stage, and fell in love. Now, again, I'd already done 70, 80 musicals, including doing West Side Story twice, Baby John, and then Riff, and then doing Cabaret in Chicago, playing Billy Flynn and all that stuff. But the local big repertory theater came up to me and said, "Hey, we're doing a production. I just finished Singing in the Rain and played my dream role, thinking about it, getting goosebumps. I love Donald O'Connor. Make them laugh, make them laugh." So I was like, they go, "We want you to play that." So I did. And the next season they said, "We have a show called Will Rogers Follies." I went, "I know it. I love Will Rogers, and I basically fell in love with Will Rogers' philosophy, which is put yourself in other people's shoes, look at them, talk to them, understand them. More importantly, listen to them. There's me with my guns, but the fact of the matter is that I learned through this that I had such a parallel to what Will was saying that
Yeah.
I literally spent. I created a company called Wild West Performers and Mechanical Bull Association. I'm still one of the top trainers on mechanical bulls. I used to own 8 of them. I traveled the world for about 15 years, about 115 times a year.
Wow.
I did a one-man Will Rogers show. I created a business off of my rope because consequently, I wanted to be a modern-day Will Rogers.
Is that like this photo here?
That
With the
is me.
fire?
That's me in Cirque du Soleil, one of the only 2 people at the time that spun Kevlar fire ropes. And because Cirque said $180 million show, yeah, we got you and another guy named Luke Rollins, who's amazing. But we don't want just what do you call it? We don't want just trick roping. We want something different. And so
you were in Cirque du Soleil.
I was in Cirque for 1,300 shows. We did Viva Elvis. We did
Extraordinary. Yeah.
Yeah, we did 2 shows a night, 5 days a week at the Aria, which was.
How did you have time to do that with everything else?
I didn't do anything else.
Yeah.
Although when I did this 2 shows a night, 5 days a week, I was syndicating myself and doing what short form segments called Will Says, or the Will Roberts Goodwill Tour. And so consequently, because you can't do anything else when you work with Cirque du Soleil, you're nailed in. I was syndicating a 1-minute segment on 250 different stations, while short form inserted in between different things. And I was doing what I call political and social humor, more social than the political stuff. But I wanted to really follow the line of what Will did. I became very good friends with the Will Rogers family. I traveled the world and became what people were calling me the modern day Will Rogers, which is okay with me.
Absolutely.
And the last element I was missing was Will did Ziegfeld Follies in New York at the New Amsterdam Theater, and I did Cirque du Soleil. So I was getting there, and then we had a new political system happening, or another administration. And I stopped doing my political and social humor because, unfortunately, one side of the aisle kept calling it fake news. And I'm like, no, it's humor. But it got really stupid. So I sadly tucked away 250 stations, running my stuff. And I was doing daily syndicated cartoons off of my phone, taking pictures, cartooning it, doing these different things, and doing a strip. And I have a book called A Crackpot's Pot Shot on American Politics that's on Amazon. And, I was in it to win it.
Yes.
But that kind of took a sideline because unfortunately it wasn't working. And then after all the touring, I got into Cirque and I was like, this is awesome. It was a dream. And certainly, at 46 years old, I was ripped. I was like, a lot of the people that were in it, 85 artists, they were, you think you can dance, and ex-Olympics people.
Right.
And to be quite honest with you, I had to keep it up, and, I was in it. And
we have a little clip of you doing your thing with Cirque du Soleil. Let's take a look at that, and then we'll talk about it when we come back. It's very cool, folks. Will Roberts, again, part of Cirque du Soleil. Here he is in action. You're going to be blown away by this. Here we go.
Yeah. So you see,
Amazing, huh?
yeah,
Wow.
and again, that's on an iPhone shooting that, because I was with one of the guys that was a Diablo, one of my Cirque friends in Vegas, and he said, "Let's go shoot your demo." Okay, cool. And again, I say that because the thing I think in my career that's been very good for me to do is that I learned all these skills again to survive, because I needed to make money, because
Are
I
you
didn't have the
self-taught? I mean, how did you
yeah.
South Side of Chicago doing rope tricks and things of that nature and incredible artistry like that? How did you gain that knowledge?
Well, what I was saying is that skills, skills, skills. Because if you want to do anything in business, or even what in
In life?
Hollywood or whatever, the more skills you have, the more opportunities you get. Because there's lots of films that go, we need someone that's a gun spinner, or we need someone that's a balloon artist. So I gained that because again, the repertory theater said we're doing Will Rogers Follies, and I had to learn how to trick rope. I roped and I ride at the time a little bit, but I really, really am one of those people that I immersed myself in it. And we had to find a trainer, and the trainer, we could find nobody that was a guy. We had to find women. So I found the Riata Ranch Cowgirl Boys, they're called, and a girl named Teresa Ogus, awesome girl, and a woman in San Francisco by the name of Karen Quest, and another one in San Jose named Cheryl Bacon. These are the only people I could find. And I'm going to tell you something. The hardest thing I've ever done, and I do a lot of stuff, is trick roping. It is physics. It is frustrating. Quick story. When I was at Fox, I did this show. They were the sponsors, because they're like, hey, he's our kids club host. So they did Will Rogers Follies, and they supported it. But I had to learn how to do a thing called the Texas Skip, which you saw me jumping through. Well, I'm going to tell you, it has a metal Honda on it, a little metal thing on it to do the weight, because it's physics. In order for it to become big enough, you have to have a weight and spin it. And when you spin it and learn how to do that, it took me 6 months to learn how to trick rope, even basically to where I could even do some of it. And I kept hitting myself in the head when you did it. And I got kind of black and blue and bloody. And I remember one day I walked into the station to do my thing. I got makeup on and everything. And they go, Will, can we see you in the general manager's office? I go, sure. And he
Usually
goes,
when you hear that, you got to get your cardboard box and don't touch the computers, and you got 10 minutes to exit the building.
well, luckily they didn't do that, but they said, is everything okay at home?
Yeah.
Why? Because you
you're
look
all
like
beat
crap.
up.
And I go, no, I'm trick roping. Well, 20 years later, I have a couple of world records with it, because it is the hardest thing in the world to ever possibly do. So please don't send me a message saying, hey, can you show me how to do it?
So I mentioned, and we've been teasing holding the two Guinness World Records. One is for the trick roping.
Yes. One is for, and I did this at the rodeo I'm about to go do next week, the Salinas Rodeo. Salinas Rodeo. They don't call it a rodeo, they call it a rodeo. And it is for the biggest loop. It's 100 feet. And I put the most people in it. So I'm standing, and if you search Will Roberts Big Loop, you're going to see me spinning. Well, you'll see me one on a horseback spinning it, but then the other one is me spinning it at a rodeo around a certain amount of people inside this loop. Now, consequently, in Salinas at that time, it's very windy, so I probably could have gotten 20 more people in it, but it was so windy, I was really better to try to do a kite flying contest because it was horrible.
Or a
and then
Nathan's
the other
hot
one
dog
is
eating contest.
yeah. Oh, the other one that I hold is my Ruger's is holstering my guns in my holster. So I wear these, the 6-shooters, and these are real Ruger Vaqueros that are single action, which means you can only pull it back and shoot it this way. You can't shoot it like that, and it doesn't aim like that. That's Cowboys in the Hood. But I have the most in holstering in 1 minute, and I have to tell you, after doing it about 5 times, it's kind of like Popeye.
Now, being also a film and TV weapons expert, does that mean that when you're on a set, television or film, you're one of those people that they trust and they're confident about because you're trained and you're expert in handling that type of,
Weapon.
material, huh?
Yeah. Well, yeah, actually, consequently, when Rust happened, I probably did about 7 or 8 around the world interviews talking about the single actions and how it's different. Because interestingly enough, a lot of people don't really understand that single action means you pull it back and you shoot it. And they also don't understand my gun friends, because I got gun friends on this side of my life, and then the other people on this side of life that don't like the guns. But consequently, I had to explain it to my right friends that yes, we do put blanks and we do aim in the shot sometimes at the actual actor. But when you go on set and someone says to you, hey, Will, we're going to do the scene with the whatever, they hand it to you and you trust as an actor, because most actors don't know and they're not gun trained to be able to handle these. That's why we train them either before or on set. But a cold gun could be pointing at someone. So yes, I am what we call an armorer, and I am someone that they would trust to do that.
That's incredible.
And I train actors on how to handle them, and I do modern weapons. I pretty much knives, guns, ropes, whips, and I can kill a man with a crust of bread as long as it's 2 days old.
You learned all of that from the south side of Chicago?
No, I learned that when I got to California. Go there.
In California, got it. Yeah.
So
You learned that in Beverly Hills, right?
Yeah, right. I learned that in Vallejo, California.
In Vallejo. Look at this cool shot.
That is a commercial that you must search if you can. I wish it was a TV show because it would be the most amazing demo for me. It's called The Pocket Hose. It was shot by a guy by the name of Joel Ackerman, who did the Pooperies campaign, which is the girl sitting on the toilet in the British going, and it talks about covering up your smell when you go to the restroom. That got 39 million hits. He called me up and said, I have a thing called a pocket hose. Do you think you could spin it? So I did. He let me go wild for 2 days. We did all these funny bits, falling in it's a very, very funny spot if you get a chance to watch it.
That wasn't one of those where you had to alert family, friends, and colleagues that the commercial dropped?
Oh.
Right.
Someone asked me on the chat, which I didn't realize for the longest time that I could see that.
Yeah, our viewers chatting around the world. Yeah.
Yeah, they said, do you have a favorite thing? And, I would have to say my acting, because I'm a character actor. So the more I can not look like a normal dude, the better off I am. Like Studio City, I play, if you've watched it, which I recommend you watch it, but you might not like me afterwards. There you go. I'm the Harvey Weinstein guy, not a good guy. And they kind of made me look a little bit differently. And I had a mustache, but I like, as an actor, looking different than I am, because then when I walk out on the street or if I walk a red carpet, they go, what is that? Like, I just did a Western I got a lot of big films coming out that I'm going to come back on your show. I got one in particular for Universal that's really, really big, that when it does break and I can talk about it, it's phenomenal.
Is it this?
No, that's called Redeemer.
This is another one, right?
You don't see it here in this picture, but I'm wearing a dead contact lens to make my eye look dead. I have a scar, and I have a gold tooth right there. You can see it on my underneath the eye. And one thing that happened right before I went, I have a bond right here, and it broke.
Wow.
And I said to the director, can I leave it? He goes, F yeah. I go, really? He goes, yeah, dude, you're amazing. And the guy in back of me, of course, is Tim V. Murphy, National Treasure, guy in back of me. He's amazing. He's been on lots of stuff. So it's a movie that should be coming out in the next several months, but that is not the film. It's on my IMDb. I'll give you that hint. I can't say, but it's on my IMDb, and it's probably going to be the biggest film of 23. I'm not lying.
So you're hearing that first here. It is a JMS exclusive.
Yes, it is.
That's exciting.
You'll go, oh my God, you're in that. And you're doing, I did scenes with 12 guys, and 10 of them are, oh my God, people.
Yeah, yeah, top
Yeah,
shelf.
can't say it. A-listers.
All of which are welcome to join us on the Jim Masters
There you
Show
go.
live.
Let
Absolutely.
me call them up.
Yes,
Hey,
give him a call. We're on live.
join me.
So what was this for? This one here, we showed it a little bit earlier, but what is it for? Something specific?
Photo shoot. No, I was in Vegas, and there's a really amazing photographer that said, let's go shoot some headshots. And I was doing my keynote stuff and building it because we knew the show was going to end.
Yeah.
Viva Elvis. And so I started, like when you work at a station, the day you get the job, you start
Yeah.
looking for your next station.
You start getting the resume reel, demo reel updated.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these were just shots that we did because, I was doing my cowboy stuff. I mean, I have split personalities. I'm trying a little less to do cowboy stuff because I'm trying not to get pigeonholed, but I'm okay if someone says, hey, we want to do, that's my Bond look, my Daniel Craig Bond look. I try, as much as I can. I'm trying not to get stuck. That's my magic. And I have a unique magic act that I do that is different than pretty much anybody because you can see my guns, my whips, all that stuff. I actually incorporate them. I'm a medicine show magician, and I believe in being authentic. That vest, my hat, which is over here, is from 1898. I mean, I am all my fob on my watch. My watch is from the 1800s. When I do my magic, it's not just that. It's me using my guns, ropes, whips, and my magic.
Yeah.
So it's a different type of thing.
So it's authentic. It's the real deal. It's like you're taking people back in time to the way it was.
Absolutely. Yeah. Basically it's called the honest huckster, which was, what you call a medicine showman. And, so it's kind of fun.
It's a cool shot here too.
Oh my God. Isn't that? Yeah.
Isn't that cool?
That is cool. Is that an ad?
Right. I think it might be.
Know that.
Right. Yeah.
Is that me?
Cosplay, Universal Stills. Yeah.
Funny.
Isn't that something?
That is something.
Here's a great one too. Yeah,
so there's an interesting story here is that I do a lot of cop, detective, SWAT, and military stuff.
Yeah, I can see that.
I am a weapons expert. But the bottom line, thank you, Crystal. Thank you all, everybody. I appreciate it. But I actually have a full LAPD uniform. I have a SWAT uniform. I also have a very good friend, David Hill, who runs a business that has all of the cop cars. So if you look at my website, I have a separate page that if you want to rent a cop for a film or a TV series, I'm there. I'm one-stop shop. You don't have to worry about it. I know how to hold my gun. I know how to do tactical. So it's kind of fun that I can do that. Again,
you do birthday parties and bar mitzvahs too.
I usually leave that to my, popping and locking and balloon art.
That's funny. Do you have a preference for drama over comedy? Do you enjoy comedy as well?
I had to be honest with you is that it's funny that question because I told you I was a Fox Kids Club host. I was the guy. I spent most of my theater career doing shows like No Sex Please We're British, Pajama Tops, Alan Ayckbourn, Neil Simon. I did the West Coast premiere of the female odd couple, and I played one of the Costesuelo brothers, Minolo Costesuelo. And I had, like, back then when I could do it, I had like chest hair and like chains, and I had black hair, and a mustache. I looked like Ricardo Montalban. Like I said, see, I started off as the comedian. I'm a pratfall comedian, but then when I got into the cowboy stuff, and everybody realized that I was a hired, basically gunslinger. I then went from all my comedy, all of it, to then getting only bad guys and guys that you would hire to kill people. So consequently, I'm a comedian. I love the comedy. I'll gouge my eyes out here if you think it'll get us a laugh. But interestingly enough,
maybe it'll make us go viral. Go ahead. Start with the weak eye. Merlin goes, are you a pilot?
Am I a pilot? No, my wife won't let me do that because of the whole.
Nobody does have a hot air balloon.
Well, as a matter of fact, in my studio outside of it, I live
behind that green wall.
I can see. Yeah, there you go. off my California room, when I wake up in the morning, I see about 10 hot air balloons because I'm in Temecula, right over the
It's a
winery.
great
So
spot.
it's not a bad thing. But no, my wife won't let me do it because Will Rogers died in a plane crash in 35.
Yes.
Wiley Post.
Yeah. So
The one so she's like, yeah, I go, if I had a choice and I wasn't an actor, I probably would have been Top Gun because that's me.
Yeah.
I'm that guy.
Yeah.
So in answer to your question, it's interesting because when I was younger, I was like, yeah, I can be serious. But, if you watch Signal, because you can search Signal, the movie, Will Roberts on, and find it on my Vimeo account and watch the 11-minute short, it's deep. And I'm like, and I'm in the movie, spoiler alert, I'm trying to kill myself. But the point is that I really have been able to spin my career to be able to, I would say, comfortably be stupid and also be extremely serious. So if you watch Studio City, there's a great scene with Anne-Marie Horsford, which is hysterical, talking about diversity. And then the other scenes are just downright creepy and mean. And, that's from iBot. I did a film. I played a killer. And I was the guy who, about a robot. It was released in China. Big film, but only in China. So, most of the stuff I did recently has all been really sort of, there's very wonderful Carolyn Hennessy. And we just did a film.
Oh, she's great. She was a guest on our show. She's terrific.
She's great. We just did a film called Wineville 2 weeks ago.
Just 2 weeks ago, huh?
Oh, I have to tell you, I've been, really lucky, but in the last 2 months, I've shot 9 films.
Isn't that incredible?
Yeah. I'm seemingly
things are now during the height of the pandemic. Were you busy? I mean, how were you getting through when everything was closed and shut and studios weren't? You were still.
I was doing live stream stuff, and I have a show called Film Festival Live with a friend of mine in New York, Sal. And Sal is markets to 8,000 to 10,000 film festivals. And he went, what if we did a show together? I go, great, it's me, but he does all the back end stuff. And I have all these directors and film festivals.
You do voiceover work too?
Yeah, I have a voiceover studio right over there.
Yeah, voiceover is great.
Yeah, it is great. And so consequently, during the pandemic, I was doing people's 4-hour live streams and for corporate places and lower thirds and Ecamm and
all of that.
And I was doing virtual magic shows with all my friends around the world, from Vegas to UK to San Francisco, doing a show called Magic and Mixology, where we had a mixologist, a good friend of mine in Vegas, who's my old clowning partner, who is the big baby in Mystère in Cirque. And we did a thing for corporate or regular parties where we would invite people in. We would make drinks during the magic show. They would drink and we'd do shows.
That's cool.
And did well.
That's cool. How did we mentioned our friend Sean Kanan. How did the entree to Studio City happen for you, Will? And congratulations.
Thank you. And I really appreciate that. It really, it's a tremendous opportunity that Sean gave me. And I'm so absolutely grateful to Michelle, to Tim, the director, and to Sean, especially. I kind of consider, again, Sean like my big brother, older big brother. But I actually met him on a show that I was doing, a live stream show during the pandemic. And I went, hey, man, look, maybe I should help you step up your game on the the streaming and so on. So we became really good friends, and it really just kind of talked and everything. And I'm very, very just so enthusiastic about what Sean does because of Way of the Cobra. So I've helped a lot of different
that's terrific. Yeah.
I mean, Sean is just an amazing force.
And if he believes in something, he's all in.
Yeah, and that's why we really get along so well, because he really is. I don't really run around with a lot of people, but I do, however, run around with people that I believe are like-minded, that are going forward. I tend to not be around people because I was raised by very negative people, to be around negative people. And there goes my Will Rogers stuff again.
Right.
So consequently, he said to me during the pandemic and everything, he goes, yeah, I do this show. I looked, I go, wow, this is legit. I mean, it's really a beautifully done series. And he goes, yeah, just hold up, hold up. And so we got out of all that. And then he called me up, like Michelle. And Michelle's amazing. And she really is like all of us, that if you give me a pair of glasses, I'm going to make you an optical store.
Right.
The bottom line is that, you know, Clay into whatever, they just really have the resources because they create them like me. So I got together with them. They go, hey, we want you to show up on set. We want you to do this. I got 2 scripts to do with Natalie, who is amazing. I don't know if you've had Natalie on your show yet, but
we had Juliet Vega was on.
Oh, great. Yeah.
And Justin Torkelson was on. He
Justin's
passed away.
awesome.
Yeah.
So I stepped in, and I got to tell you, a little intimidating, because I was in a room waiting to kind of do on set, waiting to do my 2 scenes. And I'm sitting there with like 10 of these soap stars going, yeah. What are you doing here? And I mean, I don't believe I'm not talented that way, but these people are like talking about, yeah, you know, and then 3 days ago I had 55 pages to learn in 10 minutes. I'm like,
General Hospital or Bold and the Beautiful, or you're right. 55 pages to learn. Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So I'm over here with these 2 scenes, and we did them consequently. And then we got done. I saw the 3 of them, Michelle, Sean, and Tim, in a circle going, and I'm like, okay. And then they came up to me and said, guess what? We need you to do 3 more scenes. I'm like, what? They go, yeah, we love what you're doing. So they threw in Anne-Marie Horsford and said, ad lib. And then they threw in Sean, ad lib. And so we wound up doing these things, which, by the way, are golden, because I love that stuff. If there's anything I would say I love the most about what I do, I love to ad lib. I love to ad lib. And if you open yourself up enough to people when you're in the industry, and you know you're with pros, and that's what Studio City is.
Yes.
It's pros. Yeah. It's people that when you get in there, that no one skips a beat. And it's those moments of possibly listening or responding to something that are actually even funnier or more poignant or more dramatic. And that's what Studio City was. And I'm eternally grateful for that opportunity.
I know, I'm right there with you as far as ad libbing. It's one of the great things. Not everybody, you know, is good at doing it. It doesn't come naturally for everybody to be able to just roll with it. And
gift of gab.
I love sometimes when things even go wrong, because I've had many times on television, radio, stage, whatever, where everything you can think of is going wrong. The audience isn't so sure if it's staged or really going wrong, but you know, everybody's whispering in your ear, or they're trying to give you things on the side. Just stay out there, do something, keep talking, make it happen. And a lot of people, you know, they fold up their tent, they get scared, and they run off. To me, I find it a challenge. It's like a sport. All the adrenaline is going, the cylinders are firing. It's like, because everything is depending on you smoothing it out, making it look natural, effortless, and easy. And that's something that you and I and folks in these industries do, is we want to inspire people. We want to make them think. We want to, you know, engage them. We want to take them away from the chaos of their everyday things that are happening, you know. And, you know, you look exactly like this person that usually pops in on our show, Mr. George Burns. How did you do that?
Wait a minute, where's my?
Are you doing your George Burns right now? How did you get the? Do you got the cigar and everything?
I don't have a cigar.
He's got the cigar right down there. And his martini.
You know, interesting you say that, because I do believe that, you know, and in this industry, you know this as well as I do, and anybody else that's out there, is that this is a very, very difficult career to try to do, because most of the time what you hear is negative, or you hear nothing. So, you know, coming from a situation where I was a dysfunctional home in South Side of Chicago and all that stuff, you know, I learned that there's 2 ways that people strive, either off of positive attitude and people are saying, you're amazing, here's an award, whatever, or the way I learned, which was, you're a piece of garbage. And so then you tend to learn to try to take things on your own, and you learn from them. You know, I was thrown, I did the Del Mar racetrack, and they go, we want you to come in, do your act, and do it. You got 10 minutes in between the horse races, and it's a big, big, big event. There's 10,000 people there. They went, you okay at that? I went, that's it. You know, I get in there, and same with you. I know this because, and you go, I do have your attention, right? it's when people spend their time rushing and thinking that if you don't say something every moment and doing something every moment,
Right.
that you lose their attention. But I learned a long time ago
It's
that
the
all
opposite.
the different skills that we get make us more confident. And I got to tell you, if you want to be successful at anything, get confidence first.
Yes, right, exactly. Believe in yourself. And you're right about, and things are sort of in that way. Everything is ramped up. Everything is, you
Yeah.
hear it on radio, you hear it on TV, you see it everywhere on stage, and everything. Everything's like, ba, 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 ba. And I say, oh, can't we just take like a beat just to
Yeah.
process that, to feel that, to absorb that, to share that? Because everybody's always like going to the next, the next, the next. I'm like, oh my God, wait a minute. Did you
Yeah.
hear what they just said?
Yes.
Wasn't that a funny line? Didn't
Yeah.
you see that just happen in front of you? Let's stop for a second and let that wash over us. And
Yeah.
because everything is so ramped up now, we don't have time to process and savor and relish. And I'm somebody who really does like to process and feel it, and that
Yeah.
drives me more. Yeah.
And let me tell you that interesting thing is that one of the things that really catapulted me in this is in two different things I've done in my life. When I started doing balloons and I was really needing to make money, I did El Chorritos, I did Applebee's, I did Chevy's, I did all these places, and I'd go on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and I would go there for 2 hours. They hired me for $50 plus I got a meal, but I made $250 in tips a night sometimes. And the reason why is because I learned, like I'd go to a table with mom, dad, and the kids. And I was really there to make the balloons for the kids, but I had to learn to make fun with the dad, not make fun of the dad. And so I had to listen and do my thing. Consequently, that was a huge moment for me on my improv thing. The next thing that was a huge thing was when I traveled around the world doing those 115 shows a year, doing a Will Rogers show, I did a 30-minute, either you had a choice, a 30-minute, a 60-minute, or a 90-minute show. And let me tell you something. I got there 2 days before. I went around town. I'm a cowboy, talking to folks, getting to see all the old folks that are there, which we negate sometimes. We throw them in old folks' homes. And I listened to what they said. And I went to the community meetings. And I'm like, well, why are you doing this? You got the act, you're doing the thing. Because when I went to the show, 90% of what I did was totally what I learned about that town. And what I did was listen. And when I went there, it was so special that what I did, I had my bag of tricks, trick rope, gun spin, all my Will Rogers isms that I created, because you know this, but when you write as much as we do every single day, it becomes second nature to take. I took the paper like Will Rogers did, and I went, oh, this is a funny headline. Let's do this, and boom, boom. And I go out and I had 90 minutes worth of information from that town. And I got to tell you, it was amazing. It was such an amazing process and something for me to do. It was amazing. I loved it. Learned a lot about people.
We got a cool clip here. It's a reel of some of the cool things that you've done, sort of edited together here. Starting off with this, showing off his dance prowess here on Ellen.
Can I tell you something really quick about this?
Did you want to preface it? Yeah.
Yes. So it was an audition on Actors Access, and we get 100 of these a day, and I'm like, oh yeah, they want a guy that can dance my age. So that's cool, I'll do it. They contacted me right away and said, do you have anything on Instagram? And I had done a bunch of stuff and so on, some music videos where I did that as the dad dancing. And basically what happened was they said, okay, you're booked, come on in. Ellen and Twitch did not know I was a shill. So I walk into this audience, as you can see, and I got on set and everybody was already sitting down. And here we are with 350 beautiful women and a couple of guys in there. I walk in and I'm like, I'm a little late. And they go, just go sit down. We'll bring you in. They bring me in. I'm sitting over here by this woman in the red shirt. And the woman looks at me and she goes, you must be someone special. I'm like, no, I'm late. I'm sorry.
Late,
you must be someone special. And I'm like, no. And they're all like looking at me and I'm like,
trying to figure it out.
Yeah, I'm like, so anyway, I just wanted to preface this by saying that what you're seeing, the reaction from Twitch and Ellen, they knew nothing.
Wow. That makes it even better, huh?
Some people from the audience.
That's cool. Here it is, gang. Enjoy.
Detective Gennaro. I need to speak with Rex Wilson.
Rex is already out there on the speedway for his practice run.
You know what I mean.
Now let me see your shotgun.
Here, cool it down.
Just like your old man, huh? Is there a problem, soldier? I'm asking you a question, Lieutenant.
Running in clown shoes. This is gonna be fun.
Time! What if they need more time?
That's how do you get that into like 50 seconds? I tell you, it's just boom, 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 boom.
I created that. I call that a flash demo.
You did it? Oh, you created that. Good
Yeah,
job. Yeah, nice.
Well, I did that because I created a commercial before that saying, "Hey, I know it," and I basically did a campaign, a big email campaign to casting directors and directors. And the first thing you see is an ad before it comes on. So when you see it in there, it says, "Hey, wanted the secret to making your casting department shine? Looked like it was a furniture ad. Swear to God, I did this way. Just click and check it out." And it's me going, "Hey, I know it's really difficult for actors to try to market you, but there's business in show business. So take a look at this. And if afterwards you don't like it, my name's Daniel Craig." So basically I did that, and I made them watch a 46-second commercial of me putting everything in it I call a flash demo.
Yeah.
And in the end said, "Get a hold of my agent."
That's cool. That's perfect, huh?
What are you gonna do?
I mean, how much do you enjoy the behind the scenes as much as you enjoy being out there in front of the cameras and on stage? Do you enjoy both?
I have a 4K Blackmagic camera. I have a GH5. I'm an expert at shooting on iPhones, and I have a couple of bins of every app you can imagine. I love it because it allows me, the guy who can't afford to pay attention because, well, back then, because I was poor, to be able to really do whatever I want. And that's the problem. I think a lot of times actors go, "Well, I'll be in my dressing room. Where are my red M&Ms?" And
Yeah,
I learned a long time ago.
I like the green ones.
There you go. But I learned, as you did, back in the day, you had to do, you're cutting tape and you're doing things.
Yeah.
And you're doing, I was
editing
doing
reel-to-reel tape.
I was doing voiceovers on cassettes and on a dual cassette TAC, just to be able to do stuff and keep it going. But I started back at Fox with an iPhone 3 going, I know this is going to be good someday. And the bottom line is that
was it 3/4 inch tape or was it beyond then? Were they doing 3/4 inch video then?
Yeah.
Or
they were doing Beta SP.
Beta SP, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So, and consequently, they said, "Well, do you have any training in this or that?" I go, "No, I don't, but I will." And they hired me at Fox, obviously as a kids club host and a feature reporter, but because I'm MacGyver. I can make anything out of anything and fix anything. But I learned how to do all this stuff. And they said, "Oh, can you get us online?" And back then it was like trying to get the news segments on, and it was hard. It would buffer. You know what I mean?
Do you miss the reporting? Did you enjoy that? Do you miss that at all?
The station?
Yeah, like the reporting and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I do. I mean, I sometimes I still dabble and try to get that headshot. By the way, was shot by a woman in L.A., Sasha Knopf. Amazing headshot. I did this headshot with her, and it got me 5 auditions the first week. Literally, she's amazing.
They say that it's all in the eyes, and she really captured the eyes there, huh?
They're not even mine. I'm kidding. That's my military look. So the point is that, I just believe that a lot of what we do, I used to be the guy in theater that would go, "I'm not going to stage manage. I'll be in my dressing room." And they would go, "Oh, you're really good and everything, but you got to really help out with the team." And anyway, but as I got older, I learned that the most important thing was the more you know about your career industry, the more you know, the more successful you can be. And if things are down, you can do other things, but you can't do those things if you're sitting in your room going, "I don't know how to work my phone.
Right.
I don't know how to do my email." And guess what? I'm 58. Right? So when you're my age, most people are going, "Dude, can you even answer an email?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course I can. I can do code. I'm like, get her done.
Yeah, exactly. That's funny. So you're really enjoying the ride, huh?
I am. I am enjoying the ride because I have a theory. It's called seeding. And a lot of times people get really upset about not getting places like in
Mhm.
our industry or anything in business. They go, I've been working and working. And I can't tell you how many times in my younger career that I sat in my car. And by the way, most of the time I was my clown character, Buzzy. And I sat in my car crying, going, why not me? Why can't I be the
How
person?
come the other guy got it? Why
How
didn't
come
I?
the other guy got
He's
it?
got less experience, everything
Yeah, I
else.
mean,
Yeah.
I'm this and that. And you know what I learned is this thing called seeding is what I call it, which is I place every day seeds. I don't expect when I walk out to look at that for it to be growing. And most people do. You have to remember that keep nurturing it, keep doing it. If
Right.
you feel as though you want to give up, do not become an actor because
Oh,
I've done
yeah.
this for 40 years. And I'm
Yeah.
here to tell you that it is about every single day. And when I get depressed and I think like this has been a tough week, I think to myself, it's okay. And I meditate and I go, this is what I want. This is what I'm going to do. And lo and behold, a lot of times it breaks free. And even if it doesn't, do you really want to destroy yourself? That critical voice is the thing that screws everybody up. Start
Yes,
telling that voice, shut up.
exactly. Which leads me to the question I was thinking about. Do you like to mentor others, inspire others? And do you see teaching and educating part of the Will Roberts repertoire at some point?
I
If you're
do
not,
it.
if you're not already doing it. Yeah.
I'm a keynote speaker, so I run around and I have a site called Will Rogers Speaker, whatever. And you know, when I got done with Cirque du Soleil, I was traveling around doing a few speeches. I get paid real well to do it because I put in all my trick roping and everything and all my other stuff. And it's called Simple Sense. Simplify your life. Because see, most people think that, you know, multitasking is a thing, but it's not. It's actually task switching. So if you're texting and driving, you're really texting. The point is that it's about taking your focus and focusing it and pinpointing and laser pointing it to being able to achieve one thing at a time. Because the problem everybody has in a day is they go, I got shit. Oh my God, I got 25 things I got to do. So everybody tries to dabble in all 25 things. At the end of the day, what do you get done? Nothing. What you do is you focus these things. I'm the most unorganized guy you can meet. But what I will tell you is that I try to do something, get it done, move on, get it done, get it done. So I run around speaking about simplifying people's life. I also coach actors all the time and give them my opinion. But here's the thing. People go, well, you should do this and do the acting and give people the coaching. No, I am an actor. That is what I do. I could run off and probably start the studio of Will Roberts or the church of Will Roberts, whatever. But I don't really want to do that because I'm still highly focused, specifically focused on the fact that I will be collecting a couple of Oscars. And the point is that I want to be my best in my game with all my skills into my acting. That's what I do.
Right.
Now, if I happen to give people a pearl of wisdom, I'm sure they're going to give me something too when I do that. Not money, but an exchange. So no, I don't see me down the road. I've tried that a little bit. I don't want to do that and focus my time because I believe that if you truly want to do something and you have the passion and the drive to do it, you focus on that. Like Bruce Lee, become water. You do one thing and you just do it really well. I just happen to do the other things really well because they all lead to what I do as a performer.
How do you do it when everybody else is actually pulling at you? Like for me, I've had to learn as time has gone on to create actual boundaries. I never had any boundaries. I was always accessible, available, there, putting out everybody else's fires, rescuing everybody, doing everything that needed to be done. You go home, I'll take care of it. And then I was saying, my God, I'm still here at midnight. I got to create a few boundaries. Did you create
Welcome to
boundaries?
station life.
Yes.
Welcome to station life.
How did you
remember
create?
working in radio and doing a 29-hour shift because the boss's wife was pregnant. He's like, go get the logs. You got to do the day. And I was doing overnights. 93.5 the mix.
The logs,
and I got to like the 20th hour going, well, people are like, that was the best show you ever did, dude. I'm like, okay. I was a morning show dude. But same thing as you. in this industry, a lot of times you get people like you and me and others that go, I'll do it. What do you need? What do you need? You know, what we're doing is we're saying, I want to help you truly. But I also am doing this because I believe there's opportunities. It's difficult for me to tone down. I get 4 hours of sleep a night, and that's my best times to be creative. I don't like to let dust settle. The fact is that I'm driven. And the reason why I'm driven is because I love people. I love having conversations with them. I love to listen to them. You know, the advice I give sometimes to guys or whoever say, for some reason, when I was in my teens, everybody asked me advice on romance, which is weird because I didn't have a girlfriend until I was almost 20. But they would say, what is your best advice? I go, well, every once in a while, when you're sitting there with the person that you really want to be with, number one, treat it like everybody like it's a first date.
Yes.
You're listening, you're attentive. But more importantly, here's the thing. Every once in a while, shut up and listen. And so with that being said, I still find it hard not to try to go and save the day. But that's also a guy trait, by the way.
Rescuing and sort of solving the problems. And what do you do? What is the antithesis of all this passion and energy and drive and everything that you're doing in the career? What are some other things that Will likes to do to de-amp, to reboot, to meditate, to get some air in the lungs again? When you shut off everything that we just talked about that you do and do so well, what does Will like to do when Will is, taking care of Will?
Well, I'm a heavy drinker, and no, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding.
Makes sense. Okay. Yeah.
That was my father's. No, you know, I wish I could say to you that, I mean, I have a wonderful family. I've got a wife and 2 kids, and they're in there right now and setting up tonight's movie night with the family.
Somebody asked, are they involved in the industry as well?
No,
the kids and all?
No.
Yeah.
I did that route with the woman I was with for almost 15 years. Horrible. Because when I did become more successful working at Fox and everything, she was a nurse. It was painful. Well, I work and you're just going and playing. I'm like, you know how much time I had to put in to get this job? So,
I actually heard the same thing once from a similar situation. And because of the limelight and the public eye and some of the people that you would come across, there was almost at that time, way back years ago, there was a jealousy about the career, about the industry, about, I'm like, no, you don't understand. If I come home with an extra $50 because of that gala event I went to, that's going to take care of the car payment. You know what I mean?
Whatever.
That I'm doing it for.
You must have really good credit if you're paying $50 for a car.
These days.
Holy
crap. My God.
That was like a Yugo or something.
That's not even a tank of gas.
A clown car. Yeah. No, what are you kidding me? You wave $50 by your tank and that's it. It'll take it. No, and again, the thing is that this is the part that I have a problem with a lot of times with my wife is a doctor, not like, hey, how's your heart feeling? She's like Joe Biden doctor. She just got her doctorate. I'm very proud of her. And she's so smart and she looks like Demi Moore in her younger years. I don't know what the hell she's doing with me. But anyway, I married up. And my kids are amazing. My little girl, when she was a little girl, she looked like Shirley Temple, got the curly hair, everything. My boy, only 2 kids.
I was going to say, my other boy.
My boy. But
you want to make any announcements tonight? The one in Illinois?
The thing is that I've only been married once. I've been married for 14 years. And I don't plan on being married to anybody else ever, unless I move to Utah. Kidding. Point is that I literally believe, and I waited. People go, wait a minute, you have an 8 and 11-year-old? Wow. I mean, what's up, dude? I'm like, well, what's up is that I don't believe guys are adults until they're in their 40s. Maybe it's just me, but I believe that they don't tend to have the responsibility capability. So, and they always say women mature faster than guys earlier. And I decided that I didn't want to have the kids until I had really felt that I was really ready to be able to support and to be able to give them what they needed. Well, when I got in Cirque du Soleil, it worked out well. We had our first child in Vegas. She's not real happy about that. But point is that, I wanted to make sure that I had all that in line and just didn't become another statistic like my family. My mom was married 4 times. I found out who my real father was, number 5, not married, when I was 54 years old. Because of a DNA test, I found out that I have a brother and another sister who passed away recently, I guess. I never met her, and I never saw my father ever, what he looked like or anything. For 54 years, I was searching to find out who that was, and bumped into this guy on the DNA thing, which is whatever it's called. And he goes, dude, I think we might be related. And we talked, and I now have another half brother in Chicago, of course. And we talk all the time, Joey. And the cool thing is I learned that my dad, get this, he was actually a safecracker and a criminal. Wow. There's an article that's in 30 newspapers that he showed me. Look, here he is. He tried to rob a Wells Fargo bank in the 70s. He died at 83 or something like that, but I never saw him. But when I saw his picture finally after 54 years, I'm like, oh my God,
see a resemblance?
Me with black hair. Yeah. I mean, he just said, I knew immediately it was you because, oh my God, you look like Dad.
Right.
And he was quite a hustler.
Now, had there been somebody else who was like a dad to you that your mother was married to? Yeah.
4 of them.
4. Yeah.
They were
so they all were.
I hope you don't mind me telling all the weird stuff here.
No, yeah, they're
they
loving
were
it.
Alcoholics. I mean, I grew up with alcoholics. I grew up with dysfunction. That's why, again, I said I learned how to thrive off of negativity.
Which is what I was going to say. It's actually inspiring for those watching who might be in similar situations, who feel stuck. They'll never be able to get beyond it, get out of it. Here you were. How did you get out of it? How did you break through all that?
I refer to myself when I talk about my family as the blonde woman in the Munsters. I have 2 brothers of my mother that I didn't know about my other brother and sister. I have 2 brothers. One passed away recently in the last 5 years from diabetes. He was like 350 pounds. My other brother, I got lucky, but maybe it's because I had the genes of my father who was a hustler. But, I'll be honest with you is that it has been a constant struggle for my whole life. Because you might look at me now and go, wow, obviously dude's got a little bit of money, blah, blah, blah. I literally got everything by myself. And when anybody's out there right now thinking to themselves, well, you got this or that, I didn't even graduate high school. I had nothing. And the point is that I basically took everything I could and worked as hard as I could because I didn't want to become like my mother, my father, and my relatives, which, by the way, up until all of their deaths, they called me and they'd say, hey, how's it going? Well, how's it? I go, what do you need? How much money? I'm not kidding. And the fact is that, it's tough, but you can't give up, because when you give up, you become like them. And I would never want to become like my worst nightmare, people that live as victims.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I worked day and night to try to do whatever I could the biggie was to try to be compassionate. I bumped into the Will Rogers thing. I was lucky.
Yeah.
Because then I met my wife, because if it didn't meet my wife, I probably would be dead by now. And I mean that because we're very healthy, very organic. We do stuff. When I met her, we were in Santa Cruz, California, making tinctures and all this. And I got to tell you something. When you're born in a family like that, my parents would, so white trash, they would burn a minute steak, and the directions are in the damn name. And I mean, the point is that I remember going to the doctor when I was a little kid, and the doctor goes, almost slapped my mom. What are you feeding him? Because I had like cramps and digestive issues. And they go, hamburger help, or burnt steaks and all that stuff, just trash stuff. And that's all we could do. But the point is that it's a matter of not living your life as a victim and doing whatever you can to make yourself rise above that. And I've been extremely lucky that way. But that luck took a lot of work.
Absolutely. Yeah, you didn't give up. It created resilience and confidence. Do you see a book in the offing about any of these experiences?
I've thought about it. I have that book on, the pot shot. There's a great opening that I wrote about my life and what I just sort of said in Crackpot's Pot Shot in American Politics. doing the Will Rogers thing really kind of put me closer. And I was surprised because I was writing a blog or for newspapers for boy, oh boy, 5 or 6 years, like almost every day. And then I said to myself, wait a second, I had a book.
Yeah,
So
right.
consequently, I didn't, the guy who didn't even graduate was thinking, oh, I could never write. But that's not true. Because if you write about what you really believe in, what you think, it may take a little bit of altering. You might have to get someone to help you, but because I confuse spell check, but you can do it because what you have inside is really what the book needs to be about. So, I think maybe someday I may not be the guy that writes it, but I got a lot of weird, interesting stories from being a clown in a car crying to doing fairs and traveling to Japan, to Singapore, to Germany, to doing my stuff. I've met a lot of people. I guess it might be called, as I said, the Goodwill Tour.
Has any of that wit and wisdom, knowledge, skill, and expertise not only gotten you jobs and gotten you, gigs and work and projects, has it ever, being the clown or what have you, ever gotten you out of sticky situations because you could call upon?
Yes.
Yeah.
So here I am. I'm 19 years old. I really, really was in love. I was working at the magic shop at the Carousel on Cannery Row. Loved doing that. Such great memories. I'm a magician. Down below, there's Grandma Buffalo's chocolate chip cookies, and there's a girl down there by the name of Denise. I'm in love with her. Well, she winds up going off to college to Stanford. Really smart, very beautiful. And that's where the story I told you about, where the lock picking. But here's the thing. She was a marathon runner. And here I am. I'm an ex-stoner skater. And I'm like, hey, I'd like to learn, I'd like to marathon run too. And she's like, okay. And we were very close friends. She always told me, we could never, because I was much younger and she already had a boyfriend or whatever. But I did everything I could to try to keep in her circle. She goes, I'm going to be up at the college. So I went up to the college and we were going to do a run. And so here I am in torn jeans, a torn Yamaha jacket, and I got magic stuff everywhere, including my lock picks and everything, because I was Magic Man in high school. They'd stop me and I'd do a trick or two, and people go, wow, he's Magic Man.
Yeah.
Well, I was walking up to the campus, and all of a sudden, like 5 cop cars, plainclothes cars, they pull up and they go, stop right there. Me? What are you doing? I'm milling nowhere.
I'm the Magic Man.
There's a forest over here. Yeah, I'm the Magic Man. They go, all right. And so they say, we're going to take you and detain you and put you in cuffs because we're going to arrest you. I'm like, why? They go, because we know you took that car. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm walking up to see my friend. She can vouch for me. I'm going, well, no. So then they basically take and frisk me and pull all this stuff out, and they're like, I got knives that change colors.
You look the part now. Yeah.
Cars. I'm over here going, yeah, but I'm a magician. And they're like, yeah. That's even more of a reason we think you did it.
You have more stuff than they do.
Yeah. They go, okay, up against the car. They cuff me and they put me in the back of the car, and they're sitting in the front, and there's 5 cop cars, and they go, and I go, look, I didn't do that. They go, shut up back there. I go, no, really, I didn't do that. I swear to you. And I took the cuffs off. And they go, what the? And they brought me out again. And we did this 4 or 5 times. And I go, look, if I really was going to do this, I mean, come on. And they swung me around to the car, and the car was just demolished. The windows are broken open. It was just demolished. And I went, guys, really? You see this? They stopped doing that. It was like a Laurel and Hardy movie. And I put them on the dashboard, and I said, look, I obviously, if I could do this, I wouldn't do that. Well, finally someone came around and said, yeah, that's not him. I'm like, they go, but they confiscated my lock picks, which I didn't have on me. I was totally free and clear and had my hands behind my back. So fun story. So it came in handy.
So it came in handy, huh?
Literally.
I had that happen once, similar. I was the passenger in a car. We were going up to Quincy, Massachusetts, because he was competing in a table tennis tournament up in Quincy.
Oh, I love it.
And we're going along on Interstate 95, and it's on a Saturday morning. And I was going as support, and all of a sudden, it was really early in the morning, so the highway really wasn't that busy. So we're in his car, he's driving, I'm the passenger. And all of a sudden, I look through the rearview mirror, the side mirror, and I see this cop car coming quickly. And I said, oh, but there's something must be going on. And all of a sudden, he's right behind us. Now, my friend had never been stopped ever for anything. So this was a whole new experience. So I said, don't say anything. Don't, just whatever he needs, respond and be respectful and cordial, and whatever he asks, or she, whoever it is, give them what they need and let them know that, tell them we're going to a table tennis tournament that you're competing in.
That's funny.
There's all the equipment in the back seat, kind of like you with all the magic stuff. Well, there's the equipment in the back seat. So the officer pulls behind, and of course they're sitting there a little bit. So that's that adrenaline. And I said, just relax, just, I'm good under pressure too. You probably are too. Like when things are all on fire, that's when you want to have you or me in the room while everybody else is flipping out and freezing, screaming and running away and crying. I'm like, that's just in order for all of us to get through this, it's better to be this than this. Yeah. So he was really good too. He was calm. I was following my lead, and the officer comes around the passenger side. And I rolled down the window, and I said, good morning, officer. He said, how's it going, guys? Then he walks to the front of the car, and he looks at the front end of the car, and he notices really there's no damage. There's nothing with the car. So he comes and he leans in a little bit with his arm on top of the roof, and he goes, where you guys headed? I said, we're actually headed up to Massachusetts because he's in a table tennis tournament. Oh, okay. Really? Okay. License, registration, the whole thing from him. So he gives all that, looks at it, looks at the car again. And he goes to me, he looks at me, doesn't even really say anything to my friend, who's the driver of the car and usually would be the person you're talking to. He's looking at me almost like he's looking through me. And he goes, are you on PBS? And I said, well, yeah, sure. Oh, I love PBS. Oh yeah, I'm a member. I love that Celtic Woman special the other night. Were you on there with them? And he tapped the hood of the car and said, you guys are good. And my friend was like, I don't understand what just happened, because he had never been stopped before. I'm like, just drive slowly. Don't accelerate fast. Don't take off. Just put it in drive, and let's just get to Quincy. And that's that.
And get out of there. I've had that happen, and that's a very funny story. But that's, I'll tell you really quickly, and then I'm sure you're ending the show here soon. But I remember when I was doing Fox Kids.
Oh, we were going to do an all-night Jerry Lewis telethon. They didn't tell you.
My wife has got a big out in there.
You're going to get Bert. You're going to get Bert minute steak.
I'm going to get it thrown at me. So I remember when I was doing the kids club, and I told you that, we had a big thing called Kid Fest, and there was like 45,000 kids on the weekend, a weekend every year. And we do this thing, and I was the host, and I would do all these different things and brought in the people, and it was a big station event. But I remember my show was so popular because I was rotating throughout 5-7 days. And we would do these vignettes, and you'd know me. And then I'd do special things and so on. But I remember going to a garage sale once, and it was in Carmel. And I go in because I love garage sales. Actor, because you get, stuff for theater.
Yeah.
Sure. So here I am going into this garage sale, and I'm looking around. There's this woman, very pretty woman, and black hair. And I'm looking around. I go, oh, those are really nice cufflinks. I go, what's the cost? She goes, for you? Well, I'm the only one here. Sure. And she goes, well, for you, I'll give them to you for $2. I'm like, well, what would you give them to someone else? $10. I'm like, what? She goes, I know you. And I go, you do? And, when you do this, like you and I, and you're in a market, you go, oh, I appreciate it. I go, you have kids and watch Fox Kids? She goes, watch it every day. And I go, how old are your kids? She goes, I don't have any kids. What? What do you mean you don't have any kids? You don't have any kids. I'm like, you don't have any kids? You watch the Kids Club every day? I really like what you do. I'm like, yeah, so I'll take the cufflinks and I'm gonna go. It was so weird. I was like, okay, cool.
See, I tell you, you just never know. You never know in these industries who you're reaching. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
you don't. You're right.
Until you're in the supermarket or something, and they come up to you and they're like, I don't want to bother you while you're shopping. I was in a store once where this cashier was constantly waving me over, and I had a baseball cap on, 5 o'clock shadow. I think it was a Home Depot or something, and with the carriage, and she's like. And I'm like, gee, is there a sale? Is there something happening that I'm missing? Why is she pointing to me? There's all these other people. She said, at first, the way she said it was funny. And I played with it in the beginning. She goes, oh, I want to check you out. And I said, wait a minute, you want to check me out? Should I do a spin? Do I need to turn? Do I need to pose? Oh, no. I want to be the one that checks your items out because I've seen you on TV. Oh, really? You don't have to. There's other people. There's a line for me.
Yeah.
She says, no, I want to be able to be the one who scans your items. I'm like, wow. That's nice.
Yeah, but we
but
do.
I thought you wanted to check me out.
Yeah, like, well, let me start from the top down.
Well, still turn around.
We in what we do, especially when you work in stations and you're in a community, you do get a lot of opportunities to really get to meet the people. And I remember doing one of these events, and this guy comes up to me with his wife and his kid, and he goes, "Can I have a moment of your time?" I said, "Sure." And he goes, "Come here. I want you to know that you saved my marriage." I'm like, "Why?" And he goes, "Well, I wasn't spending much time with my kid, and my wife was getting upset, and we were having a really tough time. And then they said, you got to see Will on the Fox Kids thing. He's really fun. He does something." And we started watching your show together, and you had some really great points, because I always try to put in those extra little things. It may not, I might be at science camp, but it's also about, learning and being,
little stuff, nuggets,
PBS stuff.
Yeah.
And he said, it really brought us together as a family. And if it didn't, it probably wouldn't have been a family. So and the guy was like almost in tears. I'm like,
yeah.
I gave him a hug before COVID. And and it was one of those moments where you go, I don't care how many millions of dollars you're paying me.
This is what it's about.
Yeah.
This is what it's about.
Thanks for having me on your show, by the way.
This was awesome, my friend. This was really fantastic. We covered a lot of ground, your career, your current projects, your passions, really spectacular. I hope the show met whatever expectations you had, Will, and you enjoyed the time with me as much as I have with you.
If not.
if not, because I know George had a great time. George always has a great time.
George, I tell you, I can't do George Burns, but you really keep him around. That's really creepy.
Yeah. This was actually a collectible. One of my aunts, my mother's sisters, collected all kinds of collectible dolls, and I think when he turned, was it 99 or 100, they had the collectibles out, and she got it, and it got passed down to me through the family. Put them on once when we were doing some sort of like retro TV shows. We talked about the fun Dick Van Dyke and all those fun shows and childhood stuff. And I put them on once. They fell in love with him. Now he's part of the show, and he comes in towards the latter part. Yes. He said you knocked it out of the park, and he thoroughly enjoyed himself.
I really appreciate it. And by the way, I think you should give him a raise.
Yeah, well, he's fed martinis down there with his cigar. He knocks a few back.
I need to go get mine.
Well, didn't you enjoy the lobster and the champagne and the truffles in the green room that we had for you?
It's weird you say that, because my wife blended them all as a smoothie and gave it to me. Not so good.
Peptide is next. Yeah.
Jim, I really do appreciate it, and been looking pleasure. At, like Jen and all these folks saying, thanks for coming on.
These are our lovely viewers, from around the world.
Yeah, you have a wonderful, please follow me on Instagram, Will Rogers Official. But, I really appreciate what you're doing, because, it's a tough time. in the last 10, 15 years in general. But some of us, I'm not going to say old timers, I'm going to say some of us veterans that
Seasoned
do what you
veterans.
do, that really, there's an art to what you are doing. And I do this as well with my people is that when they get done, a lot of times, I know you get this, they go, well, I was really nervous about coming on your show.
Yes.
And then when they get done, they go, oh my God, you made it so easy. So
Yes.
Jim, I will tell you, I just have to tell you that I really appreciate it. You know what you're doing. I appreciate the love of it, levity, and I appreciate everything that you did, and you asked the right questions. You know what you're doing, and brother, I wish you nothing but success. And if there's anything I can do to help you, please let me know. I really do appreciate your time.
The pleasure is all mine. We will definitely keep the porch light on for you, Will. You're welcome back. Spread the word about the show to other folks you think might like to pop on. Love that. And say hi to my buddy Sean Kanan for me too. And nothing about
me.
Is he?
Yeah, he's saying, he said, hold on a second. I'm not sure what he said. I made a post about me working out, and I made a, let's see, glad, okay, I had positive. Yep, stay healthy. Great. Yeah, but I'll respond back to him, but I don't want to take it on your air. Anyway, again,
I never saw anybody rip glasses off their face as fast as you. You're fast with that too.
I am the fastest in the West. I can spin anything, my friend.
Even words.
I can juggle anything, but I certainly can't juggle a checkbook.
No, that's a little tough, right?
Appreciate it.
You're the best. Spread the word, and you're welcome back anytime. And I hope we get a chance to meet in person, East Coast, West Coast. That would be really cool, Will.
And when I do release the film, or I can say it, I promise you, if you'll take me back, we'll talk about it, and I promise you it'll be a fun show.
That will be very cool. Best of luck with that, and congratulations on everything, Will. Okay.
I appreciate it. Thank you, my friend. And I promise you, no one promotes like me. So you will be probably on milk containers tomorrow.
Spread that YouTube episode link.
Thanks, my friend.
Take care, Will.
Thanks, everybody. You're awesome. You lovable lovities.
That's it. That's what they are. They love that. Now they're not going to sleep tonight. Will Roberts said that.
I'll trick rope going out.
Oh yeah, that'd be a cool way to do it.
I can't do it in space. Holy God, I'm going to knock over everything. Hold on a second. I'm done. Oh God. Okay. See ya.
Looked like a live snake. He hung himself on TV. There he goes. Will. Thanks, Will.
That's my other career, being hung. All right.
We'll have you back for that one. Thanks, Will. Did you guys have fun? We always have fun on the Jim Masters Show live, because you never know what's going to happen. We take it in whatever direction. You know, sometimes we're serious. Sometimes we're never maudlin here, that's for sure. But sometimes we're serious and we're getting into inspired conversations. A lot of times we end up having fun. A lot of times, no matter what the guest does for a living, or who they are, or where they're from, or what their level of celebrity is from Broadway or Hollywood, television, film, music, stage, culinary arts, sports, comedy, inspiration, or anything else, you just never know what's going to happen. That's why we enjoy doing these shows for you. Always have a good time. The shows are formatted, but they're not scripted. So we don't have pre-prepared questions and all that. We just let it roll. It's authentic, warm, conversational, fun. And we bring you guys in, and we thoroughly enjoyed it. This was really, really terrific. You can catch Will. And again, it was great having him here on the show, Will Roberts. Jack of all trades, yes. And I love talking to him about the broadcast side of things. He's worked in television, he's done reporting, and he's done hosting, just like myself over the years. So we have that joint background. Actor, cowboy, dancer, author, film and TV weapons expert. You saw some of that today, and then you found out why he's the holder of 2 Guinness World Records. Really cool stuff, huh? Really, really cool. And then some of the projects too that there he is. He was talking about the glass eye for that project, and other things that are coming down the pike. Really exciting about that movie that he's going to be in, that he said is probably going to be one of the biggest movies of 2023. We'll keep abreast to that. We'll have him back on the show for that. And you didn't know he was that multi-talented, right? You know, one of the things that I love which is what I enjoyed about the conversation too, is being somebody similar. And I love when we get these connections with guests where I can relate to a lot of what he's saying because of wearing many, pun intended, hats. So many different things I do in this industry as well. So many different shows, projects, television, radio, stage, film, all of it, as Will does and has always done. And I think that offers great variety. You know what I mean? You never know when they're going to say, hey, the other guy didn't show up. We need you for this. So he's done a lot of on air, on camera work, as well as behind the scenes. I have as well and still do as well. And we're kindred spirits in that way. And I think that was absolutely awesome to really connect in that way. Some really great shots here that we celebrated. This was just a short list and some terrific videos. The Cirque du Soleil video where he was doing the ropes, and that little demo reel that we showed as well. That was just a little snippet, a little teaser there for you guys. It was terrific. Lisa, yes, absolutely. It's all about the lovity and funnity. Funnity. Yes, we created a new word. I spit out lovity 2 years ago, and now we got funnity. Lovity and funnity. L&F Productions. Good to see you, Lisa, as well. And thanks for everything, as always. We love everybody here. There's enough, as I've said, there's enough lovity to go around for all. And thank you, Jim. This was fun. Will was great. Absolutely. Wasn't that a great exit? Exit stage left. He almost choked himself. In the beginning, it sort of looked like it was a live snake, didn't it? Yeah. Will is a lovity. Yeah. I always tell all the guests before we start the show that I said 2 years ago, light, love, levity. And then I slipped up and I said the word lovity. And so we have a lot of lovity. I'm Mr. Lovity. This is Lovity Hall, the Lovity Squad, all of that, Lovity family. And the guests love it. So when they see me say it, or they see it on the screen, or you guys say it, they get into it. At first, they're like, what is this? And then they experience it and they feel it. Thanks, Juanita, watching in South Africa. So good to see you here as well. Hey, gang, we're going to look at a couple of more comments, but I do want to tell you we have extraordinary guests that are coming up. Tomorrow, we have a phenomenal actress, singer, and pianist. She's described as a cross between Stockard Channing. If you took Stockard Channing and Susan Sarandon and blended them together, she is described as a hurricane in a well-wrapped package. Cynthia Shaw, a bundle of energy. She's extraordinary. She's a brilliant pianist, singer, actress. She's a lot of fun. She's going to be with us tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Then on Sunday, we have a legend. Madeline Stone's going to be with us. Now, Madeline won the Dove Award. Her songs have been featured on many, many Grammy-winning albums. And she has written music she's worked with Neil Diamond, Wilson Phillips, Lucy Arnaz, who was a guest recently, dear friend of ours, and countless more. She is, if you've listened to music in the last several decades, you've probably heard a song penned by award-winning songwriter Madeline Stone. I mean, the list of people that she's collaborated with, written music for, is extraordinary. She is with us coming up on Sunday. Now we're going to do an afternoon show. On Sunday, we'll be on in the afternoon. That'll be 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. So mark your calendars, set your alarms, 1 p.m. Eastern time, 10 a.m. Pacific. So that's actually a lot earlier for our international viewers overseas who are ahead of us, usually time-wise. And cool stuff. So that's on Sunday. Madeline's going to be here. And you know who is here on Monday? Take a look. A music legend, a film star, a Broadway star, the one and only Melba Moore. Yes, countless hits, countless songs. The incredible Melba Moore, music legend, film star, award-winning singer, actress, and Grammy nominated vocalist, is actually going to be here on Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We can't wait. It's going to be amazing. She's got a new album out. She's going to be here on the Jim Masters show. She's all excited. We're all excited. She's been doing this for decades. She's a legend, and she's going to be here on Monday. Tuesday, we've got another incredible guest, best-selling author, natural hair care specialist, Tiffany Anderson. She has an incredible array of healthy hair secrets and health and wellness secrets that she's going to share. She's also a 3-time best-selling author. She's going to be with us on Tuesday. Gang, did you see the episode last night when we had so much fun with Kevin Eubanks, who was the music director for The Tonight Show with Jay Leno? He had so many funny stories about the time on The Tonight Show as the band leader and the music director. All of his albums, he's been doing it 40 years. He's now doing a comedy game show with Jay Leno called You Bet Your Life, which is a take on the original game show series with the one and only Groucho Marx. So Jay Leno and Kevin Eubanks are back at it. Kevin is a brilliant, prolific composer, renowned guitarist, and now a TV personality, co-hosting with Jay Leno. That was an epic episode just last night. And we spoke on the phone afterwards, and Kevin thoroughly enjoyed himself. He loved it. And I loved it too. And we hope to get together either when he's here. He's from Philadelphia originally, but he's out in LA. Either when I'm on a TV shoot on the West Coast or he's here on the East Coast visiting his family in Philly. We hope to get together. I'll just drive south on I-95 or take the Amtrak and we'll go see him there, or we'll catch up in LA. But and Barbara Brighton, live from Vegas. If you didn't see that hilarious episode the other night, legendary comedian, actress, singer. She even did Joan Rivers for us live from Vegas. Barbara Brighton was with us, and she brightened our day with her wit and wisdom, and it was hilarious. There were so many funny moments with that. Really, really amazing guests, amazing times, amazing conversations, poignant moments, lots of laughs and inspiration coming your way right here on what we call our entertainment lifestyle variety talk show series. Not a typical interview show. This is like a talk show of the past. Cavett, Carson, some of the legends, but with a modern vibe, modern twist of today, with the old school sensibilities, with a modern vibe of today, a blending of two fabulous worlds for all of you. We started this series in the beginning of the pandemic, 2 years plus, 720 plus episodes and counting later. Here we are, still with all of you. We've grown, the show has grown, expanded in many different ways, the technology, all of it, the way we present it. And hopefully it just gets better and better and better. And while you guys are here spreading the word, sharing the links on your social media, subscribing to our YouTube channel, giving us a thumbs up, and definitely do leave a comment on the YouTube channel itself, underneath all the episodes. That really helps us. We thank everybody who's been doing that, leaving comments on the YouTube channel. That helps us big time. So we thank everybody, those who are watching and commenting now, and those of you who comment later, and those of you who just quietly watch and you do a thumbs up. We have thousands and thousands of people that are watching our shows, and we thank each and every one of you for watching. If you want to support, super chat, super emoji, super stickers during the show, in live chat, you can do anytime, 24/7, you can do super thanks, which is the heart icon. And you click that, that helps support all of the effort and the content we're doing here. Thank you, Kathleen. Thank you again, Jim, for all you do for us. It means a lot to us how hard you work at bringing us amazing show one after the other. Thank you, Kathleen, for those beautiful words. Merlin says, love the show tonight. Yeah, Merlin, I know you've been commenting, really enjoying all the shows of late. Well, all of them, but you've been having a good time with all the laughs lately, and I love that. Yeah, it's Merlin in Ontario, Canada, and Sherry in Kansas, who's always great at getting the word out, posting links on all of her social media for us. We really appreciate her doing that. Thank you, Jim, for another wonderful show and for all you do for us. Sherry, thank you very much. And Juanita says, fun show, Jim. Thank you, Juanita. And everybody that's watching. Again, our Lovity Squad, folks. You might recognize some of these names that you see here, diehards, and then those of you who just watch again anonymously. We thank you so very much. Thanks, Jim and Will. Fun night from Jen in Pennsylvania. Thank you to Kathleen Walker. Thank you, Jim. It was fun. Will was great. Linda Odell in St. Augustine, Florida. Thank you, Will, for sharing your life with all of us. Will, you're now our Lovity. Mary Bishop says, that was a lot of fun. Thanks, Will and Jim. My pleasure. Mary, there in Pine Island, Florida. And so much more. How do I know? Because she said she sent me a mug and a lot of cool things from that beautiful area. Great stuff. You guys are the best. We're going to scoot out. I think it's time for a nice popsicle. It's about what? It's almost 10 o'clock at night. Wow. We are East Coast time. 73 degrees right now. It was about 85 degrees today. Light coastal breeze. We've had a stretch of phenomenal weather the last couple of weeks since the 4th of July. And it's been really, really, we've been blessed. And the weekend is here. We got a bevy of shows coming up tomorrow, Sunday. And then we're going to somehow weave in all the domestic stuff we have to catch up on, the family time we have to catch up on, going to the beach, enjoying the weekend while summer's here. We're going to weave all that in and around the episodes that we have coming up for all of you and you and you and you and you. So good stuff. All right. And even George Burns popped in. Merlin says, loved the show tonight. Thank you very much, Merlin, and everybody watching around the world. You guys are the best. Crystal here. Thank you, Crystal. Have a great night, Jim and everyone. Enjoyed the show tonight. Crystal is one of our newer Lovities who's been with us all the time. And we thank you for being here. And, some of the Lovities have been here for, almost 2 years now, if not since the show started. Like Kathleen Walker has been with us, I think, since very close to, if not the very beginning of the Jim Masters Show series. So she's a seasoned veteran Lovity. All right, gang, be well. Take care. As we always say, we don't say goodbye around here at the Jim Masters Show Lovity Hall. What we say is shalom, hasta la vista, and we say moi loop. We say slancha. We say cheers, ciao. We say Avida Zane, sayonara. We don't necessarily say goodbye. We say see you later. Take care. Love one another. Be good to one another and be good to yourself. Very important to do that. Remember to take care of yourself and laugh every once in a while. One of the coolest things you can do is laugh at yourself. Because the rest of the world, they want to do it anyway. So you might as well laugh at yourself and have a good time. All right. We love you all. Take care. Again, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. We would really love that if you haven't. Tell your friends to subscribe. Tell everybody about our show. That helps us grow. And we would absolutely love it again if you give this episode a thumbs up. You'll see this thumbs up icon next to all the episodes. Make sure you click the one that's pointed up. That means you like it. And leave a comment for us as well. And thanks for joining us on The Jim Masters Show. I am your host, Jim Masters, and we appreciate it. All the Lovities are saying see you later to each other. If you're watching this live, we'll see you on the next one. If you're watching this Memorex, you're watching this in the archives later, stay right there. Another episode comes right up here on The Jim Masters Show live in our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. Be well, gang. See you again. Cheers.